Coming up in today's episode of Inspire to Inspire.
Because most people go, what can I learn that will make me the biggest percentage? Because that's what I want to learn, because that will get me to the goal faster.
Can money buy you happiness?
No, it doesn't buy you happiness, but it can certainly make you more comfortable. What I talk about when I talk about financial independence is independence. The thing you want to be independent from is having to exchange your time for money. If you talk to anybody who's achieved anything in life, it was because they kind of single-mindedly went after it.
Mr. M. Dog.
Mr. Dongo.
Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
Mr. M. Dongo, and he is a 10x person.
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.
From the beginning of time, through our ages, there is one thing that people have been fighting over, and that is freedom and independence. Well, freedom to do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it, without having to ask for permission, without even having to think twice. And that freedom and independence to your day can come down to how much do you want to spend each and every day? What exactly are you trying to spend on? And how much money do you even have? And for that reason, I have decided actually to bring somebody who is teaching financial independence, which is the true independence after all. Because we have got so many people that are either free politically, but they are not free financially. So we know that slavery have been stopped some time back. I don't know how many years back, but people right now, they are still kind of like slaves, especially financially. And it is a little bit painful to actually see people working each and every day, and yet they are not free financially and they are not independent financially. So for that reason, today I have a special guest who is the founder of Your Financial Independence, the author, and a successful trader. He's been my client as well for some months now. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Jeremy Downing. How are you, brother?
Absolutely fine. Thanks, Munya. It's great to be here. Looking forward to our conversation.
I'm so looking forward to this conversation as well, because, financial independence, it is an important factor that anybody else is supposed to actually have. I was reading, like just last night, I was reading the book, The Science of Getting Rich. Right on the very first chapter, it was saying that this life that we are living right now, like as human beings, we are designed to acquire stuff. If you really want to live both spiritually, mentally, and physically, you must be having access to the resources that you need. You must have access to the things that you can use each and every day. But for you to have access to those things, you're gonna need money. So so many people now that they'll be like, oh, you know what? I rather be okay spiritually, but financially, no, I'm gonna see it when I'm not in heaven or something else. Well, that is the mentality that some other people have. But for you to really enjoy life on this planet Earth, you must have financial freedom. So here is the quick question. Let's just get this elephant out of this room. Does money buy you happiness? Let's start from there. Can money buy you happiness? Let's start from there.
Okay, so the answer to that one quite clearly is no, it doesn't buy you happiness, but it can certainly make you more comfortable. And I think happiness is, I always describe happiness to my clients when we're talking about it and saying, what do we want when we're actually financially independent and when we've got all our time free? What do we want? And I always talk about creating memories and creating experiences. Now, some of those memories and experiences that you create don't actually cost anything. Okay, so the love of someone special, time with your family, etc., they don't actually cost anything, providing you have the time. And for me, that's what the money's about. So most people connect time to going and doing something for somebody else which then pays the money, which allows them to do a certain amount of things. But most people spend the vast majority of their time, their day to day, except when they're on a holiday, doing things for somebody else, which deprives them of the time to do those things with their family, etc., etc. So we can, in a roundabout way, go, well, money can buy you happiness, because if you learn to create the money in a shorter amount of time and don't have to go work for somebody else in order to create the money, then you have the time freedom and therefore you have the happiness. So we can make that connection, but money in itself, of course, does not in any way, shape or form buy your happiness. But what you can do is, if you make money in the right way, you can have a lot more time. And then when you've got a lot more time, what do you naturally want to do when you've got more time? And the answer is, you want to go places, you want to do things, you want to take your family on fantastic experiences. So you might want a bit more money to do that. So we kind of go in a loop. We need a certain amount of money to get our time back. And then we might want more money then to have our perfect life experience. Now we've got more time. So that's where the connection with money comes in. But what I talk about when I talk about financial independence is independence. The thing you want to be independent from is having to exchange your time for money, which is what you do when you go work for other people. You exchange your time for money. True financial independence is breaking that apart. So those things are no longer linked. In order to have enough money, you don't have to give up 10 hours of your day.
So time is not money then?
No, it certainly isn't. It is when you're doing a traditional job or when you're getting paid by the hour. But when you become an investor and a trader, you can break that link if you adopt a certain way of doing things. So you can learn to have a process that will make you a certain percentage on the money you invest. And if you make a certain percentage on the money you invest, if you have more money to invest or you create more money, spend the same amount of time and you make the same percentage. So what that actually means, just to put it in, dollar terms or pound terms or whatever currency you want to talk about, what that means is once you've found a way of making a certain percentage, all you need to do then is go and find more money to put in the front end, and you get more money out the back end, and the time you have to spend doesn't increase. The time stays the same. So you break that link between only getting a certain amount of money for a certain amount of hours. So when you become an investor, that's what you do. That, for me, that's the key to investing, and that's the key to financial freedom. Breaking that hourly link. You get this amount of money for this many hours you work.
Yeah, but Jeremy, you are talking about being an investor, right? Being an investor means I must have money, right? And what if I don't have a lot of money right now? Is this financial freedom really attainable right now with the current economy that we are into right now? Yeah, well, there are still people that have got access to generational wealth, and there are other people that are actually starting the generational wealth from them going forward. So how can they really start? Is this still attainable thing currently with the situations that we currently have right now? Because
I mean, the short answer is yes, but obviously it takes different periods of time for different people. So there's two things that affect the time. One is obviously what you start with, and the other is how committed you are to learning the thing and doing the thing that can multiply your money fast to get you to where you want to be. So everybody can learn the same stuff. So everybody has access. If you think about it, there's courses out there now. I'm a lifelong learner, so I've been on entrepreneurial courses, business courses, programming courses, whatever I decided to do in my life. I've been on courses about it and learned it, and then I've developed my own strategies and I've taught other people. Everybody's got a choice to go out and seek those ways of learning. And there are certain things you can do to make that process quicker. Okay, so one of the things you can do to make that process quicker, and I would say this because I teach people how to do this, but one of the ways to shortcut is to pay somebody else who's made all the mistakes already to show you, and then you can do it quicker because it might take you a long time to learn. So I typically teach people, when I teach my first two strategies to people, I typically teach people that over a couple of days, and then mentor them to make sure they get it and don't make mistakes, and they can actually go and do it independently for themselves, and they can go do it on their own. But I can teach people that in 2 days, and then with joining a call an hour a week, I can teach them to not make mistakes and do that skill for the rest of their life. And then they've got that skill for the rest of their life. And that skill is how to make 1.5% a month on whatever they invest. And if you can make money monthly, you can compound monthly, which creates a massive acceleration to the building up of your fund. So it also depends what you learn. So some people might just be doing capital deals. They might be buying houses, doing them up and selling them, and they make money at that. But it takes about 6 months to do that project. And then they need to go find another one and invest. And they're building their money up slowly. They may be making big chunks of money, but they're building money slowly. And what you can do in the stock market, if you learn something you can do quickly that makes you 1.5% a month, you can compound that. And this is great because most people go, what can I learn that will make me the biggest percentage? Because that's what I want to learn, because that will get me to the goal faster. Now, here's the thing. If you go and learn the stuff that can potentially make the big percentages, there is more risk to that. There's got to be. If you get a bigger return, there's more risk. Okay, correct. So I teach people low risk stuff that they can compound. So therefore, they don't have a big risk. Okay, they have something that they can do every day that will bring them in this money monthly, and then the compounding can do the heavy lifting. And if you've not learned about monthly compounding, just do a Google search. Go to a compound calculator, put 1.5% a month in, put your initial amount of money in, and then see what it builds up to over the years. You'll be absolutely stunned if you've not seen that before. And so what I do is give people low risk stuff and let the compounding do the heavy lifting instead of chasing the high risk stuff, which obviously might make you money sometimes, but then can peg back your fund. And, people lose 50% of their fund that they've been building up for 3 years, and they have to start again. And it takes out all those horrible experiences. So that's what you get from learning off somebody else. You learn the way to do it right and with a low risk profile, rather than just chasing the next shiny penny that makes the most money.
Wow. Talking of these percentages, well, 1.5% may look like it's nothing, but 1.5% of $100 is $1.50. 1.5% of 10,000, that's a whole different ballgame. Can you talk to me about this issue of instant gratitude and long-term gratification? Because that is a very, very crucial problem, or something that can either hold people from building this financial independence, or that can help people to actually build it faster. And can we talk about this? High percentage and low percentage, instant, because we are living in an instant environment right now. Everything that you want, you can get it instant.
That's right. And you can't get financial independence instantly. You need to work at it. But what everybody doesn't realize is one of my mentors years ago said this one thing to me. And I always tell everybody I teach about this. So the human being always overestimates what they can do in 1 year, and they vastly underestimate what they can do in 5 or 10 years.
Lovely.
Because they don't understand things like monthly compounding. So again, go look what happens in 5 or 10 years with monthly compounding. That's the first thing. So it does take time. But here's the thing, you have to find a balance. So I always tell my students, yes, if they spend no money and they walk around in sackcloth like a nun or a monk, they can definitely get to financial independence, their financial independence target quicker. But it's not enjoyable and it's not a nice journey. And so you have to make it a nice journey. But the thing that most people do with regard to saving and investing is they get their money in, they pay all their bills, and then they might do a few leisure things with their family. And then they think about saving or investing what they've got left, if they've got anything left. And what you do when you plan your financial independence is you go, well, what can I do to basically pay myself first? So if on average I have, $250 a month left at the end of the month, let's just pick a random figure, could you think of a way of making sure you have $350 at the end of every month so you can get to your financial independence quicker? So you can just put more money away consistently every single month towards your financial independence. And what you do is write a plan about what you want your ideal lifestyle to be. And if you do that and you make that plan solid, then you are drawn towards the thing that you want. And you'll realize that actually it's really important to get there. It'd be amazing to get there. Your loved one to be really happy when you get there. And you will make more of an effort here and now to put extra money aside. And most people, wouldn't, if you just look at things like, buying daily coffees, buying a sandwich for your lunch. This might sound really simplistic, but they're just examples. There's all sorts of things. Not getting a new car every 3 years, get one every 5 years. There's loads of things you can do to just take monthly payments down that you plan out, and you can just make that extra bit of money available, because the more money you put in the front end, the more comes out the back end, and then you can compound that monthly, and you can make a massive difference. Again, pound calculators. Will let you say, I'm going to put this amount of money in at the start, and then I'm going to add an extra bit of money each month. And again, look and see what adding an extra $50 or $100 or $250 a month over the next 5 or 10 years does to your end figure. You will be stunned. Wow. So I think rather than sort of shutting ourselves down and saying, we can't have this, we can't get that, it's like, do you really need the new iPhone every year? Could you maybe get it every 2 years, or could you get it every 3 years? And, and do you actually need that, 25 million megapixel camera? I'm exaggerating for effect, but do you really need that quality on your phone? Because all you're doing is, snapping people in the dark, and it doesn't make any difference anyway. You're snapping shots at a party, so you don't need all those things. But it doesn't mean you can't have a camera and you can't take photos and enjoy yourself, and it doesn't mean you can't have takeaways, and it doesn't mean you can't go out, but it means you just have slightly less of them. So but it's very difficult to make those changes to your life if you don't plan, and if you don't dream, and you can't envision what your time-free independent lifestyle is going to be like. It's important to create that vision for yourself.
Everybody is looking for that secret formula to boost their business. Guess what? We have it. Welcome to the Kickstart Coaching Program. For just $3,997, you get 90 days of expert guidance to start, scale, or restructure your business like a pro. Coaches, authors, trainers, and online entrepreneurs, this is your chance to shine. With our program, you'll discover powerful strategies, tailored advice, and the support you need to thrive. Imagine transforming your passion into profit. Imagine turning your dreams into reality. Join the Kickstart Coaching Program now and unlock your business potential. Ready to make a change? Let's do this together. Sign up today. Your future is waiting. Don't keep it waiting any longer.
Wow. It comes down as well to creating a lifestyle that you actually need right now, and building those muscles, that habit of knowing that, okay, you know what, I'm just going to put on like extra each and every month. I'm going to look each and every month in my budget, in my spending, like what is it that I am spending on that I really don't need to, and then cut that down out, and then put it all on your monthly investment to help you go forward. And you have spoken about paying yourself first, right? Which is a very, very important habit to actually do each and every time, because it also motivates you as well. But what are some of the things that you have seen that may prevent other people from either paying themselves first, or maybe they paid themselves first, second, and third month, and then after that they look back and be like, oh wow, there's money over there. They go and either take it out again and try to put it in or whatever. Like, how can you break through that mindset? Because Bob Proctor always spoke about the paradigm shift, right? That you may go, when you hit that ceiling, when you are just about to break through, then it pulls you back again. And I am very sure that with all of the clients that you are training, you have also seen this problem as well. It doesn't matter how much wealthy those people are right now. How are they breaking through that ceiling so that they start to pay themselves first and keep on doing and actually build this habit each and every time?
Yeah, so that last thing you said is the key thing. It's great. It's creating a habit.
Yeah.
And so we all have in our lives positive and negative habits. And what you've got to think of putting this amount aside for investing like is, once we once we subscribe to Netflix, we kind of never stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure everybody can relate to that. Or subscribe to Disney and we never stop because, if you turn off Disney, your kids will complain at you.
Yeah.
So what you've got to do is you've got to kind of do it in that regular payment kind of thing. So just think of your investing as that's a subscription for something that's essential in that's essential in your life, and it's essential that you keep adding to it. And what you find is if you create that subscription mentality, if you just send that money every month straight to your brokerage account, even if you haven't got a signal to invest it yet, it's out of your bank account, out of sight, out of mind. It's gone. It's going somewhere else. If you can create it as a habit like that, most people don't. I invite you all, go look at your bank accounts now and go look at everything you pay out each month, and you'll suddenly find, my goodness, I'm subscribed to 5 subscription services. If you'd have asked me, I would have said there were only 3, and that money's going out every month, and you're not even noticing it. And those are the kind of habits that we all have every day. And you might say, some of those are bad habits, but the point is they're habits, and you're not noticing them. You're not noticing that it's happening, which is why everybody wants you to subscribe, because once you're on the hook, you're done. So just do what everybody else is doing to you, but do it for yourself. So get yourself on your subscription for your life, for the things you want, instead of the subscription for what everybody else wants. You just need to. And that thing that you said there about Bob Proctor paradigm shift is the exact same thing. It's like with, we talked about compounding. If you've got a credit card, here's what you're doing. You are being somebody else's investment compounder. They've lent you some money, and you're paying debt on debt every single month, and you're making them the money. And if you stop borrowing money from them, so rein yourself in, so you're not borrowing money from them, and you put it into your compound calculator on the other side, and you do your own investing, then when you look at that bill every month and go, God, look how much I'm paying, and I'm never paying anything off, and the money I owe is just getting bigger and bigger every month. You could be saying that about your investment account if you don't have the credit card, because it's just the other thing flipped to work for you. Okay, and these are lessons you need to learn. So learn off what other people are doing to you and do that for yourself.
And guess what? They will give you a minimum payment of just the interest only. If they say minimum payment is just $1,000, as the minimum payment, you're gonna be paying that $1,000. Well, I saw somebody who was on another talk show. He's another celebrity musician in here, but I'm forgetting his name. So he was like, well, he told his wife that, babe, you know what? If we save more money, and actually, if you pay off that credit card that you have used, because she had accumulated $12,000 credit, and she was like, well, if you pay it off, pay it every month, probably by end of the year, we're gonna take a very big, nice holiday. She was like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to take care of the credit card. And guess what happened? She was paying the minimum payment of that, which was very little. Then at the end of the year, the husband came and said, babe, have you been paying? She was like, each and every month, faithfully so. And okay, let's see. They only discovered that they still had a credit that was amounting to $10,500. So throughout the year, she only paid down $1,500. What happened? Like, I've been paying every month. How much? A minimum payment. Say, like, really now? So you spend all these months paying minimum payment and nothing happened. Like, it didn't even move a little bit, you see. So those are some of the traps that are there. But then let's calm down. I know that you are the stock guy, like you love stocks, right? I don't know if you also encourage people to invest in real estate, in other things. So just let's talk about the stocks. Stocks, sometimes they give people a heart attack, right? And surely not you, because you just invest. You spend 5 minutes either a day or a week or a month on a trade and then forget about it. How do you have that kind of, well, I was about to say, how do you have that kind of audacity, of doing that and then forget and just go?
Okay, so
How do you do that with all this up and down? For example, in America right now, if you're somebody who is glued to your screen, well, you may need to have a doctor next to you who is going to be monitoring your heart rate each and every time, because it's one moment it's way up, when one tweet can take everything down, another tweet can take everything up, either like that. So how do you maintain your mental, I don't want to say mental health, I'm going to say mental strength when it comes to that? What's your
yeah,
trick?
okay, and it's about a couple of things really, and the two things are what you're investing in and the type of strategy you're using. So this conversation can go on for hours actually, but I'm going to try and make it quite succinct. So the first thing is that I don't invest in individual companies. Now, a few people are going to hear that and go, that sounds like absolute madness. Isn't that all you can invest in? Well, no, it's not. So what I teach people to invest in is asset-based funds. So what I compare this to is, if you think about real estate investing, in real estate, if you were going to invest in real estate, you would spend some money on an asset, which is the house.
The house.
Or the condo or whatever that you're gonna rent out. And then you make money off that asset by renting it out to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And whether the asset goes up or down, you still make money from renting it out.
Yeah.
And basically, I take that strategy to my 5 minute a day strategy that makes 1.5% a month, which is, the starting point, if you like, for people who want to compound monthly. And we've said how important that is. I take that strategy, and what I do is I teach people to invest in asset-based funds in the stock market as opposed to companies. So for instance, there's gold funds out there, there's property funds out there, lots of other assets, but an asset class that you trust and you're comfortable with. And I teach them how to create income off that by selling options in the stock market. So this is selling options, not buying them. Buying options, short-term options, is very risky. Selling short-term options is very profitable and very reliable. Okay. And some people just go options and get all excited, and you don't need to do that. You need to understand the difference and you need to learn about it. So you can create money off that asset class just like you do with property. So if I've combined an asset class that I'm really comfortable with a strategy that I'm really comfortable with, where I only do one trade a month, and when I do that trade, when I sell that option, I get money in. I'm not then worried if that asset class drops in value, because I know I can still sell an option on it every month and still get income in. And because it's an asset, I know that there's always inflation in the world, because there's always money being printed, which is what creates inflation. So there's always inflation in the world, which means that asset prices always ultimately go up. So providing you choose an asset class that you're comfortable with, you don't panic about things going down. Like, nobody sits in their house on the night and goes, I better call the estate agent again tomorrow. Come round to my house again every day and tell me how much it's worth, because I might have to sell it. You don't worry about that, because you've got a purpose for it. Okay. And if you rent it out to somebody else, you don't worry about it because you've got a purpose for it. There's income coming in. Okay. And that's making money and building your wealth. So a combination of the right asset class and the right strategy takes all the worry away. And the strategies that I choose to do are strategies that take 5 minutes a day. Some take five minutes a week. And the reason I chose those strategies was when I first started investing, I was doing what I told you earlier on you shouldn't do, which is the course that's going to teach me the trading strategy that makes the most money. That's what I was doing. And what happens when you go on those courses is they do teach you those strategies. Some courses are better than others. Obviously, that's always going to be the case. But even if you get a strategy that works, you might find it works, but you need 4 hours a day to do it. And you've got a job, which I had when I first started. I wasn't financially independent then. So you have a job and you can't do the 4 hours. So you can't make the money anyway. So no point in learning that stuff. Forget about it. Come to the stuff that, so I said, right, I've learned all these different things about the stock market. If I only have 5 minutes a day, which is all I had because I had a job and 2 young sons, and, I'm a lot older now and grayer, but back then I had a lot more energy, but my kids still had more energy than I had. So it takes away a lot of your time. So you just wanted the 5 minutes a day. So I said, what can I do in those 5 minutes a day?
Yeah.
So I just chose the things that match with that. And what I learned, obviously later on when I had more time for myself, is that the people I was teaching were back where I was when I was first learning, and they didn't have much time. So the stuff I teach people, the strategies, take a lot less time. And even people, who are going through my financial independence coaching program, those people have got a target of learning maybe 5 or 6 strategies because they want to get aggressively to their, financial independence, as we all do when we start. But they can do that in sort of 20 to 30 minutes a day, which is still doable for people with jobs and careers and businesses and things like that. So that's what I try and focus on. The things that I teach are suitable for the most amount of people, rather than saying you can come and learn this and it's really great, but you do need to have 5 hours a day.
Wow.
They don't usually put that on their advertising posters, by the way, that you need the 5 hours a day to do the strategy. They just tell you how much it's going to make you when you learn it.
And they don't even tell you how much money and how much time they did put in. They'll just show you the golden part of it, the shiny part of it, which is also one thing as well that kind of like make people like you or people in your industry to find it very, very difficult to either run their businesses online because we've got all these wannabes that are just posting and advertising this shiny object, and right now to see somebody who say I'm a trader, you'd be like, oh, okay, okay. Why? Simply because like this industry have been painted so bad, scammy, spammy, whatever it may be, simply because of what people are putting out there and the real work behind that. So people, they're just portraying that this is an easy way of actually making money. Not knowing that you're gonna need to have all of the strategies. You're gonna need to know who you are, to develop great habits. This is not just a shiny way of like, come, give me 10,000. I'm going to do abracadabra, magic, boom, it becomes 100,000. It's not like that. It's not like that. So what is your advice to somebody who is confused, who may say, you know what, I really want to start this journey of actually doing this, but I don't know who to trust because there are so many people out there. Yes, Jeremy, I heard you say that find somebody who have done the work, somebody who have made all the mistakes. But everybody out there, they are all posting jets, Lamborghini. They are posting themselves in Dubai. Yet I clearly know that this person have never been to any of that. So what is it that you can tell them? How can they spot the wannabes and the real deals?
Yeah, I mean, it is tricky, and I think it's fair to say that, if I spend all my life obviously talking to other investors and other entrepreneurs and other people who teach, not just trading, but other things as well, and because we end up on the same stages and in the same things. And I think the main thing to realize is it's a big shop out there, so don't go for the first thing. I think another thing to bear in mind is listen to the people talk who are going to teach you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you might find 3 people and think, I like the idea of what they all teach. They all teach something that I can do in a short amount of time. How much time I'm actually going to need to do this? That's a great question to ask. How long is it going to take to learn and get proficient, and how long is it going to take every day when I do it? Because that would be your first thing. Well, if you ask that question and they say, well, actually, you'll need to get up at 5 o'clock every morning and look at a chart for about an hour before you start a trade, which is one of the strategies I did years ago. Yeah, that didn't work for me, but I didn't know that till after I'd been on the course. If you can find out that before you go on the course, great. But you might have 3 people who can teach you, but one person just gels with you more because we all have slightly different learning styles.
Yeah.
One of the things I do when I teach is we have an online course, and then we have a live event that teaches the same stuff, and we also have coaching. And if you have those 3 things, then that fits a lot of different learning styles. Whereas some people, like when I first learned trading years ago, it was completely different. There wasn't online courses, the internet wasn't about and stuff. I would go to a 2-day course and scribble as many notes as I could and try and take as much information as I could, and then came away, no support, no chance to review, no nothing. Okay. So the first thing is learning is a lot easier now.
Yeah.
Than it was when most of the people who were teaching you started. Okay. So give them a break because they've been through a lot compared to what you have to go through.
Have you ever thought of turning your ideas into a profitable online business? Welcome to the Idea to Great Income 7-Day Challenge, where you'll gain the knowledge and skills to create an online course that sells like hot cupcakes. In this week-long intensive challenge, the goal is to equip you with everything you need to turn your ideas into a lucrative online business. It may seem like a daunting task, but with the right guidance and a step-by-step approach, it becomes a journey of discovery and growth. Over the course of 7 days, you'll uncover the secret to creating ideas that sell in the online market. This is not just about coming up with ideas, but about creating ideas that are marketable, ideas that meet a need, solve a problem, or offer a unique perspective. So are you ready to transform your knowledge into profitable online courses? Join now for the Idea to Income 7-Day Challenge. It's time to turn your ideas into great income.
So it is actually quite easy to learn, but you need to find the thing that fits with your learning style. So try and find the person for your learning style and make sure, if your preferred learning is you prefer learning in a classroom and asking questions in a physical classroom, then make sure they've got that. If they haven't got that, don't think, I'll be okay with an online course because they're telling me. If your preferred learning style is a particular way, then make sure you've got that. And, and if you think you'll need to ask lots of questions, you'll need coaching, then make sure that the course includes coaching and that you can access it and that you can afford it. Because if you need that coaching, which is really good to have, I don't think anybody should really teach a trading strategy that doesn't have some form of Q&A with it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I'd say is when you're asking questions, make sure that you can still ask questions if you can't attend the support calls. Because if you're busy and you're working, you might not be able to go to the calls at the right time. So as an example, because I know that's a problem from when I was learning, okay, we actually have something in our courses where people can submit a question to the support call, even if they can't attend it. And then we record it and we put it online so they can watch it afterwards and get the answer to their question, even though they couldn't make the call. Whereas some people go, we got support calls, and you can drop in, but they don't have a mechanism for answering questions if you can't attend the call, which can be a problem if you're busy. So they're all about your learning style. All those things I've mentioned are just about your learning style. Don't worry about anything else, because the thing is, once you've learned something and you get good at it and you know how to do it, and you prove to yourself that you can do it, which you can do, by the way, in a paper trading account without spending any real money, which is what we teach people to do. But you can always do that with any strategy you learn. If you can do that, if you can get things right, so you've got the right learning approach, you can test it all before you start, then you'll be really confident when you go in and you're not going to lose large amounts of money. Now, the other thing is, once you've learned the system, you just have to believe me on this, but once you've learnt the system, whatever system that is, and you know you can do it, and you know when you put some money in it, you're going to make a certain percentage, you will go and find more money. There's no doubt about that. Once you've got a working system, the reason you don't go and get money in the first place is you don't believe the system's going to work. Because of all the things that Munya said when he introduced this subject about learning, how do I know it's the right person for me, etc. How do I know it's going to work? So you need some way of learning and then being able to test it without having to invest any real money so that you know it's going to work for you. And then you can go get the money afterwards. Because here's what lots of people do. They go, I'm not going to sign up for that course and learn how to invest yet because I haven't got any money to invest. And let me tell you, because you haven't got a working system, you're never going to find the money. You're just going to put a bit of money every now and again, and you're not going to be disciplined about it. But when you got a system and you're also on a course with loads of other people and you go into live events and people are going, I made this amount last month with the strategy. You're going to go, your confidence level is going to go up and up and up. And you're going to go, I better get to it. And when you've learned it and you're doing what they're doing, you will go get some more money. So I regularly meet people who've done my courses over that bit I've been teaching now for nearly 15 years. I regularly see people who've done my courses and they tell me, that they are now financially free and they stop working and they got more time with their family, and they tell me all these lovely stories, which is the only reason I still keep teaching, because I don't have to. The reason I do it is because I'm giving back and people are telling me wonderful stories about what I've helped them achieve, and it makes me feel like I'm doing something positive in the world. So that for me is the massive reward of doing it. But, when you're in an environment and you're in a community, you're hearing those things and seeing those things, and they motivate you and they'll make you go get the money. But believe me, if you don't have the system, you'll never do it. I mean, think about anything you buy. You buy it because you know it works. Somebody else has got it or shown you it and said, look at this, it's great, look what it does. I'll have one of those, because you've seen the proof. Yeah. You have to do that with investing. You have to see the proof. If you don't see the proof, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's really quite that simple. So that all started off, didn't it, with a question about with a question about, you know, how do you learn? What's the best approach to getting started?
Yeah.
And the thing is, you've got to find the thing that the person and the course and the approach that fits you. So have a good look around, see the shop. Lots of people will let you try their course or money back guarantees and things like that. Lots of online courses have money back guarantees. Most people who do an online course have some form of money back guarantee. So just do one with a money back guarantee, you know, and then you can look at it. And if you think, oh, this isn't for me, then just get your money back and look for the next thing. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And also one thing that I also know is that we did a mobile app for you
Yes.
that you are actually using to deliver some of your courses to your high end clients, and also you have a 5-day challenge that you actually put out there for everybody. Like everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are from, you are able to gain access to that. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. Okay. So the challenge is we talked a bit earlier on in the conversation about your ideal lifestyle, and if you create a vision about your ideal lifestyle and know what you want to achieve and the lovely things that you can do once you have more time freedom, that it kind of acts as a magnet and pulls you forward to your ideal lifestyle, and it'll help you create some really good habits because you're chasing that lifestyle and you can kind of really imagine it, and it's very vivid. And so what we did as something free, because you know only so many people can join our coaching program at a time because we limit the numbers. While people are waiting to come on it, we actually give them this free tool, and it's a 5-day challenge, and it just takes you through things day by day, and it's just a quick 5 to 10 minute video that says, right, this is what you're going to work on today, this is what I want you to think about, and we give you exercises to go through, and you probably have to spend about 20 minutes just writing things down, thinking about, and we're going to give you prompts about your ideal lifestyle and the areas you might want to think about, so that you come up with it's a straw man that you can put detail on later, but you kind of come up with a straw man of what you want from your ideal lifestyle. You know, where ideally would you like to be living? What sort of things would you do with your family if you had more time? You know, what sort of, you know, like lots of people love volunteering and, you know, and helping, you know, charity projects out and stuff, but probably don't have the time to do it. You can do some of those things. You know, is there a sport you wanted to learn, a language you wanted to learn, all these things that one day I'll do that. One day I'll do that. What we want you to do is bring all those things into focus and go, well, when would you like to do that? And create a vision for yourself. Because if you have, you know, a thought up here in your head every morning when you get up that this is what you want out of life, and you're not going to take anything less than that, you will find yourself drawn towards those things.
Wow.
So we talk about those things, about goal setting and why goal setting is important, because sometimes these you can't envisage how these things will help you sometimes. But if you talk to anybody who's achieved anything in life, it was because they kind of single-mindedly went after it. Okay.
That's very
if you think of just sports people, and people think, oh, look at that, they've just won a gold medal. Yeah, they've worked 20 years or 10 years or 15 years to win that gold medal. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't just wake up one day, go take a course and instantly got the result. You know, that isn't what it's about. And not that it's going to necessarily take you 20 years to reach financial independence, depending on where you start. I've had people, you know, come on my coaching program and achieve financial independence, you know, true financial freedom, being able to stop their job or their business within 2 years. But it depends what funds you've got to start with. But it's achievable for everybody. It just takes the time. But you have to start off with that goal. You have to start off with that drive. You have to start off with those habits that you create. And they're all the things that I help people with, you know, teach them how to do that quickly rather than, you know, spend 5 years bashing their head against a brick wall, a metaphorical brick wall, not a real one, but bashing their heads against a brick wall and then go, oh, I need to be doing something different. Well, you know, I've been through that and I've seen people go through lots of iterations of that. So I can help people, you know, redirect themselves quickly. And that's what gets you there quickly.
Lovely. Yeah, but because also in another book, I think and Grow, you say that if you can see it here, you can hold it here.
Absolutely.
So you need to visualize and actually see the life of your dream, the life as somebody who is financially independent. You need to see it first. To be quite honest, there are great tools and there are great exercises in that program that if somebody out there were to follow that, they can become financially independent easily. And if you are wondering like how can you download this mobile app, please do scan the QR code that is popping up on your screen right now, or check the link in the show notes. You are able to download the mobile app right now and actually gain access to that free program that is in the app. And in the following days as well, you are going to be receiving some emails that are still going to be nurturing you and also reminding you of the kind of lifestyle that you can have if you are to focus on your goals and actually focus on your financial independence journey as well. Wow. I'm just loving all these things that you are giving, Jeremy, because I know that your time is very valuable with all of the gold that you have been just sharing right now. It is very, very important that people out there get this thing and literally go and use it in their own life for them to also get
Absolutely.
this
Just
amazing
get
result.
started. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's the main thing. Just get started with this new idea that you can plan your life. You can start thinking about it. You can work through a process over the coming years while you're having your normal life, while you're doing all the other things that you want to do. You don't have to, right, I'm stopping that and I'm doing this. You can just change your course a little bit and you will veer further and further and further towards your ideal lifestyle and quicker over time. But you've got to make the start. You've just got to replan the route. And that's really what that quick 5-day challenge on the app is going to help you do. It's going to help you start planning the new route, and then you can build on that.
Just get started wherever you are right now. You can find something, you can follow that program, and you can actually just get started wherever you are. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for your showing up and for sharing all this, because I know that there is still a lot we could even talk about, but I'm just advising our listeners to go and download the mobile app and actually follow and also follow there. And I just want to say thank you to our viewers for showing up and for actually watching up to this long. And as you know that this program of Inspire to Inspire, we are here to inspire you to go and inspire other people. But first, you have to be inspired to live the life of your dream. You have to be inspired to live the life that you want. Once you change your world, then you can change other people's world as well. And for the reason again that you actually here after this long, you know we still have got our mobile app, BNC Mobi, where you are able to also download and actually get access to one of my free program as well. That's going to show you how to monetize your story, your skills, and your experience. You are able to get it over there. And you can actually scan the QR code on the screen or check in your show notes. So there are 2 mobile apps that you are downloading today. Your financial independence app, and get access to a free amazing program, and also get access to our BNC Mobi app. And as you know that this is the program, this is the podcast that you always show up each and every week. So thank you for showing up this week as well, and I cannot wait to see you next week. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share this with other people, because you have no idea whose life are you going to actually touch today. So thank you so much, and thank you to our guest for the day, Jeremy, for sharing amazing tips. Thank you, everybody. Have yourself a great time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mr. M. Dongo.
Mr. Dongo.
Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
Mr. M. Dongo, and he is a 10x person.
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.